everyone, I'm Jacki Jing, reporting straight from snowy Sweden. That's why I got my jacket on. Anyway, welcome to the third day of SiegeGG Debrief SI 2022 edition. Let's take you through what happened today, starting with Group A. Defending champions NIP were eager to get serious points on the board with a win, but they were up against M&M, who had stunned Sandbox yesterday in a fairy tale debut match. NIP were not interested in storylines though, and showed just why they won SI last year, as they went 5-1 on Cafe Attack. Somehow M&M fought back in the second half with Nello clutching two 1v2s, but it was in vain as NIP took the map 7-4 after arresting that 3-round slide. Onto Clubhouse, NIP once again raced to a dominant first half, this time a 4-2 on defense, but they were just as impressive on attack and managed to close things out with a confident 7-3 map win to get all 3 points. Over in the other matchup, Sonics took Sandbox to the cleaners, getting the first 7-0 of SI 2022 and then winning 7-3 on the second map. Over to Group D, which seemed to stand for DAMWON, apparently. They were up against Oxygen, who were also flying after the first 2 days of play. And starting the first map, Oxygen kept flying. They went 3-0 up and then 4-2 on the defensive half of Villa. And suddenly, questions were being asked of the perfect DAMWON, who found themselves 6-2 down. But don't you dare count out the Koreans. Round after round went their way, and Woogieman went huge to force OT.
He can't find the angle here. This is agonizing to watch both of them in behind the bar. Does he find one? Oh, he's got it done, Woogie Man, in a 1v2. You must be scared of the Woogie Man, Des, because he is terrifying.
I'm told the Boogeyman looks under his bed.
It became 6 in a row as a DAMWON kept the train going and won it out 8-6. Now the momentum was well and truly with them. A 1v2 started off Oregon with Kat Singh getting a 4K, and Woogieman turned into the Boogeyman as his team cruised to a dominant 7-3 victory and confirmed first place in Group D. Meanwhile, in the other Group D game, Mexico Majors champ T1 continued to suffer, losing 0-2 to qualifier team MIBR. Group C time then. Big news to start off, BDS got RaFaLe back. After 2 days of pain with the coach Bios playing instead, the player was finally able to join the rest of his team in play. TSM, on the other hand, had been in great touch yesterday and were eager to put the Frenchmen in their place. And that's exactly what they did, as Bolo and Merc, in particular, turned into absolute beasts, helping TSM to a flawless first half. TSM took the map 7-1 and moved on unimpressed by RaFaLe's return. It seemed like much of the same on the second map as BDS found themselves trailing 2-5. The Frenchmen tried to fight back, but a quiet game from Shaiko and Renshiro meant that TSM eventually managed the 7-5 win. At the same time, Furia secured their second win in this event, beating Team 1 2-0. And let's not forget our friends over in Group B. Looking rather scary after the first 2 play days, Team Liquid was eager to maintain their perfect record. Cyclops, in contrast, were one of the teams that had yet to find a win during the Invitational, but the vibes were high and maybe today would turn out to be their lucky day. Despite being the underdog, SiegeGG started the series off surprisingly strong, but Liquid didn't trail behind for long. The match went to OT, where Cyclops managed to win it out 8-7, thanks largely to a huge clutch from Black Ray.
They're actually going to go for the pickup themselves, and it's a big costly moment. Suddenly, Cyclops have been able to swing this back into their favor. Resets. It is revealed by a camera that gets that ping. The spray through, the C4 over the top. Doesn't quite get the lock and the drop. They've made their way into reading. Close corners and a little bit of solidity. How are you going to get past this first fight? There it is. He's on the table. He's on the floor. He's round the corner, and well, it's just one more. They can't quite get it, though. A 1 versus 1 round the Rosies. He's in the washroom. He's right behind where you just were, following your footsteps. You see one, and there it is.
Bank was up next, and the match followed the same pattern, but this time it was Liquid who came out on top with 8-6. After 2 consecutive overtimes, CAG's gas tank was simply empty, and Liquid shot them down with a 7-3 decider map. At the same time, Rogue tried taking on FaZe Clan, but ended up succumbing to the Brazilians in a 2-0 sweep. So what did you think of today's games, and how do you think the next 2 days of group stage games will go? While you're in the comments letting us know, be sure to subscribe and go follow us on Twitter to stay on top of the madness in Sweden, and follow me at Jacki Jing. And if you want to see more of the numbers that everyone has been putting up in the Six Invitational, head on over to the SiegeGG competitions page. And of course, stay tuned to SiegeGG everywhere you can to keep up with all things Rainbow Six. See you tomorrow!